Hi. This week I learned about the different characteristics of individuals with ASD. These characteristics fall under the categories of social interaction, um, communication, and behavior such as stereotype behavior or atypical behavior or repetitive behavior. Um, Social interaction, usually the students, the individual don't initiate conversation, they don't make eye contact, they don't respond to their names, they tend to want to be on their own. As far as communication, it could go from having speech problems, not being able to speak at all or make connections with words and items, to having good speech fluency, but having problems with the language, understanding others. Then there's the atypical behaviors or stereotype behaviors, which fall under, that could be from scratching to flapping their hands to twitching, blinking. And these are seen more as coping mechanisms, um, or soothing uh, for the individual when they're in situations where their senses are being overstimulated. It's more for them to be calm down and or just being able to cope with the environment. The class that I observed was a seventh grade summer school intervention. There was two students with ASD, and I actually knew one of the students because he had been in my RSP class, but was placed mid-year in STC due to his low academics skills. As far as their behavior, what I observed, it was a math activity they were doing. They were placed in groups, and I did notice that both of them were not really interacting with the other students. They were doing the work, but they weren't really participating as far as sharing out their ideas about the problem they were working on. When I did approach one of the students, I kind of was just asking what he was working on, and he gave me like a short response. I noticed he did not make eye contact. Um, and then the other student, I didn't ask him any questions, but I've noticed that he was just sitting there, not really interacting with the other students. Um, when the teacher asked one of them to share their answer, he did great. He he shared what he had gotten as an answer, and he gave a little explanation. It didn't seem like he had any problems sharing with the class. Um, During the break, I did notice that both students did not interact with any other students. They were each on their own. One of them stayed inside the class and decided just to read during the 15-minute break, and the other one went outside. He sat by himself on the bench, and he just ate his lunch, and pretty much stayed there the whole break and didn't interact with anyone. Um, the student that I had in my class, I know he had problems with his diet. The mother told me that he had a lot of every time he eats certain foods, he gets stomach it gets irritated and he gets stomach pains, and he tends to need to use the restroom frequently. I noticed with that student that with his writing, he doesn't his motor skills to write is really bad. The way he holds his pencil, he just really can't do any print. Um, but as far as the observations of, I didn't notice really any different type of behavior for the hour that I was there. I didn't notice uh, any different behavior from the other students. Um, I think the biggest thing that was that they were on their own. They didn't really interact with anyone, and like I said, during the break, they were just um, they decided to just be on their own. Okay, thank you.